going on, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time. As a musician myself, and today is the return of WCW nWo Revenge. Actually, have I done Revenge? I just know I did one of these wrestling games recently. I'll check which one. But either way, the return of wrestling. We have Superbrawl, followed by Halloween Havoc in the month of October. How fitting. Both are from the channel Jammer Slammy. Cool name. If you know, you know. Requested by Darton. I'll go check which ones I've heard before, but I have heard a wrestling game prior, and I surprised myself last time by how many like superstars I was able to to list or to name after not seeing them in years. But let's go. I don't know what Superbrawl or Halloween Havoc are, although those kind of sound like pay-per-view events, if I'm being honest. Okay, let's see. I will look into this game and see if I did it before or what, but this is Superbrawl from WCW nWo Revenge. Okay. It sounds older, so PS1 maybe? Sounds like a dive bar. Yelling at your bartender to slide you a beer across the bar. Darts being thrown in the background. It's a bluesy. Let me see. Let me see what game I've done. Yeah, it's bluesy. It sounds like... You know what it sounds like? It sounds like Black Sabbath. In case you never heard Black Sabbath, it's really blues inspired. Just heavy. Alright, what have I done? Okay, yeah, I did do Revenge last time, a month ago. It's been a month, damn. I heard the intro and Starcade. Rotary organ? Oh yeah, straight blues. Blues rock. MIDI blues rock with cool bass too. It sounds so limited. And not in a bad way, but this is the sounds I grew up with, you know? It sounds so video game to me. One more time, up. It seems to get its inspiration from like classic rock. Very 70s. Very Boston, very Journey. Yeah, it's got a swing to it. Ba-dum bum, ba-dum bum bum, ba-dum bum. Yeah, very Black Sabbath. Believe it or not. A lot of people think Black Sabbath, if you never heard Black Sabbath, a lot of people think it's like crazy gothic or something, which they have the look, but I mean, we're talking like the 60s here, man. Like, gothic wasn't really a thing yet. It was just like detuned, bluesy, heavy stuff. Which probably sounded satanic at the time. Like, for example, if you were to listen to the song Fairies Wear Boots, which has one of the best intros ever in metal, by the way. Super bluesy. It's not even well, I mean, it's heavy, but it's not even like dark. It's like very bluesy. Big record. Man, this is giving me really good memories about like, I'll explain later, but it's giving me memories. I'm like, all of a sudden, like, 16 years old right now, because of a certain memory it's given me. You know what's cool about this? They went out of their way to make original music for this game. That's really cool. Unless these are like superstar entrances that were remixed, which I wouldn't know. Gotta respect the effort, you know? I have 30 seconds to look at the composer for this game. Even threw in the bass line, really? There's a lot of love put into this. Kuji Mikura. Japanese composer? Oh, Nintendo 64. I think I knew that before. Was this a Japanese-made game? Oh, I didn't see it in time. Damn it. Let me see. Who made this? Asmic Ace, Aki Corporation. Okay. Oh, the whole development is Japanese. Damn, really? I mean, I know wrestling is a big deal in Japan, but I don't know if they would make an American wrestling game. I don't know. But okay. So one thing I like to do, if possible, every reaction is different. I never know what the hell's gonna, go into my mind, or what it's gonna remind me of, or what setting it's gonna give me, or whatever. Sometimes it reminds me of the requester. Sometimes it reminds me of just so many things, right? Just whatever inspires at the time. In this case, I remember a very specific memory of I was huge on the iPod Mini. You guys remember iPods? Yeah. Before the iPhone, before we had the little white scroll wheel and the colorless screen. That came out when I was in high school. The iPod did, and then the Mini came out too. And then immediately, like, Apple just started like throwing up a bunch of just different stuff every like 6 months, which they still do. But I remember it was like the iPod, and then that got what do they do to it? They changed something. It went from like really archaic to kind of modern. Then the Mini came out, and the Shuffle came out. iTouch. Just so many variations, right? All the colors, everything. All the commercials. And then the phone came out. Wow. Time flies. That all seemed like not so long ago now. That was like 20 years ago. Sorry. Anyways, I was really big on the iPod Mini because I love music. And, we couldn't really take like CD players to school. They're kind of what's the word I'm thinking of? They're kind of bulky and, whatever. But an iPod, you just kind of like clip on or just put in your pocket. And yeah, you have these like really blatantly white headphones, but it was cool. I took it everywhere. I wish I still had, I don't know where it is. It might be like in some old family closet, but I'm very curious to see if I can find it so I can see what songs I was listening to back then. But I know one of them was for sure Fairies Wear Boots from Black Sabbath. This is right around the time I started to really get serious about the guitar. So yeah, roughly like 2 years after I started. I started at like 14. I don't know the exact date I started, which kind of bugs me, but it was like the end of 14 years old. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. I just remember it happened 2 times. This is before I drove, but it happened 2 times, so it stuck with me forever. I had like a new dentist at the time, and I remember very specifically what that office, lot looked like. It was very unique. But also, when I got out of the car, Fairies Wear Boots came on. I always had it on shuffle. And then the very next time I went back to that same dentist for like the follow-up, the same song came on. And it just stuck with me forever. I already liked the song, but it's just like, I told myself even then, I'm like, you're going to remember this for the rest of your life. I don't know why. But it's just such a specific thing, If I think of that town or that dentist or whatever, or if I think of that song, it's all gonna like just shoot me back there. So, anyways, didn't think I was gonna be talking about a dentist in a wrestling game video, but that's really important though, because although I have no idea what's going on here, obviously it's probably just an event of this game. It's really cool that someone went out of their way to create a whole soundtrack for it. It's an OST, to my knowledge. It sounds like one. It sounds like original music was made for it, which I guess makes sense. I don't know how the WCW worked, but if it was anything like the WWF or the WWE, then they probably use licensed soundtracks for their entrances, which you can't do in a game. I mean, you could, but you could save a lot of money by just not doing it. So either this is original music completely, or it's, MIDI cover versions transcribed to kind of, represent a character, that kind of thing. I don't know. Either way, it's cool. Someone went out of their way to do all this. And there's a lot going on. For all those limitations and doodads, there's guitar riffs, there's drum patterns, there's bass lines, bass fills. It's pretty impressive. But overall, I was really enjoying the fact that it's just a blues thing. You don't really hear too much blues rock in video games in general. It's not a thing. Can't think of many examples. So anything that can remind me of Black Sabbath, which is always awesome. Rest in peace, Ozzy. That's cool. Listen to Fairies Wear Boots. You'll be surprised. That intro. Oh, not only is the intro of that song incredible, the outro gives me goosebumps, dude. Both the intro and the outro of that song are not played anywhere else in the song. It's just only the beginning and only the end, and they're both sick as hell. If it sounds like I'm selling it, it's because I am. This one is Halloween Havoc. It is currently the month of October, which is blowing my mind to bits because I still remember doing my Halloween episode of VGM Vibes not too long ago, and there's no way that was a year ago. There's just no way. That's crazy. Anyways, Halloween Havoc. WCW nWo Revenge. Oh, right, 64. So there wasn't CD quality here yet. That's why it sounds old. It sounds like mid-90s because of the instrumentation. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's just really groove, blues rock. There's way more bass in this one. Is that the Halloween part? Like long, dreary notes. Spooky. It's a triplet. Love that note. It's like an artificial pinch harmonic. It's so. What's funny is in the guitar world, those are sometimes referred to as artificial harmonics. So it's an artificial harmonic. Does that mean it's real? Oh yeah, dude. It's safe to say the whole thing is like Black Sabbath inspired. Okay. Alright. Yeah, right here. This reminds me of one of my favorite songs in video game history. That's also spooky. This sounds like the pit from Mortal Kombat 1. The original Mortal Kombat 1. Which is just called Mortal Kombat. Oh, that's so good. I'll show you what that sounds like. It's one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. A lot more drum action. A lot more rhythm and... yeah, drums and bass going on here. Alright, we got a loop. I'm gonna have to pull up another tab here. But I want you to pay attention to that slow lead next time and remember it. It is cool. This. Yeah, it does the job. It has that spooky kind of like wolf howl at the moon type of thing. This is cool. Top comment. This should be the anthem every time I step outside my house. The best wrestling game of all time. Me and my dad would play tag team matches with Dr. Frank and Shogun in the arena. Good times. I always think of Raven's Flock when this BGM would hit. Greatest soundtrack of all time. OGs like this jam. I love YouTube, man. YouTube is such a cool place. This is sick. This goes from like hard rock to straight metal now. Ooh. I never noticed that bass slap in there. And pop, I think. Ooh. How did I not notice that before? Oh, it actually ended, but it's going to give me an extra minute and a half. Whatever. Let's get a minute and a half. Let's go. That's sick. That's very Metallica. This actually kind of has like a Metallica feel, doesn't it? Like, and Justice for All and Up. No, more like later Metallica, like Load, Reload. When they calmed down a bit and grew up. But it's doing the job. It's selling the whole like attitude of wrestling thing, right? I'm pretty sure the Attitude Era was like at its peak here. Yeah, I know that was a different company, but still, that's what sold. That was like the image of wrestling. Like, look at Revenge. It's so like edgy and red. The whole nWo was like the epitome of edgy, wasn't it? It was just like New World Order, black and white. Did we say that the nWo was the most successful thing that ever came out of? Well, I don't want to get it, but it's like the most recognizable. It just sounds like that. The most recognizable, long-lasting event in wrestling. I think everyone has seen or heard of like nWo at some point. It's gone like beyond wrestling. Anyways, let me do a quick cut here so I can show you what that's reminding me of right now. All right, if you remember what that single note lead thing from earlier sounded like, it sounded like this. By the way, this is one of my favorite songs in video game history. It's from the original Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis, particularly because it was way different than the arcade soundtrack, which the Genesis version is so much better. I don't care what anyone says. But this one's called The Pit, which is a very spooky kind of level, right? You can knock your opponent down to the spikes. It's nighttime and there's a moon. But see if this sounds familiar. Sorry, I can't stop once this gets going. Just quick history lesson here. This is a weird video because Black Sabbath was one of my biggest guitar influences when I first started. And Mortal Kombat 1 on Sega Genesis was the first thing that got me interested in video game music. So 2 huge influences are right here. The first thing that got me interested in video game music was MK and Sonic 1, because we had them on Sega. To this day, I'm not even joking, to this day, the best sounding keyboard sound I ever heard was in Mortal Kombat from Sega Genesis, the one we just heard. Particularly the Warrior Shrine. If you like really good drums and amazing synth, Warrior Shrine from the Genesis version. In fact, you can even compare it to the arcade version. You see how superior it is, but whatever. Anywho, so I have a lot of memories here, right? First, I get reminded of my 16-year-old dentist appointment, and then I get reminded of me being like 5 years old, you know, putting on this ABAB blood code so I can get over here and the blood code turns on, and it's great, dude. It's great. I love video games. So even though I missed out on this whole like thing, you know, I feel like wrestling is kind of like Pokemon. It's just never going to go away. It's always going to get, you know, new stuff, and it's kind of like an immortal thing, you know. A lot has changed with it, obviously. It was way more edgier and, you know, just way more adult. First, I don't know, it's had so many phases. It was kind of like it was almost like G-rated before, and then kind of got edgier, and now it's back to like PG. It's had so many things, you know, controversies. You know, that was a whole lot more female wrestlers. That's really cool. I feel old every time I see John Cena and how old he looks, because I remember like him debuting. So, anyways, good memories, good stuff. Let me know what's going on in these events. What are your memories with either MK or this? That was cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. It's very fitting for Halloween. Reminded me of two distinct memories as a child. So, whew, life's crazy. Thank you, Darton. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Take it easy.